G'day. I was at work today, and I'm kind of lucky that I can listen to a lot of music while I'm at work, and that's I love that. But I was thinking, the lost fucking language of tape trading is not knowing what you were gonna get, And now I can kind of curate my day. Can listen to this band, to that band, and whatever fucking band I feel like, I can just get onto YouTube and I can find it. And, we're spoiled for choice now. And back in my day, I was on a C or a B tier tape trader. I didn't trade with people overseas. During that time I was relatively youngish, so I traded with friends that I went to school with, and when I moved away, we kept in contact, and I would get a few things here and there. And the most exciting thing about it was also the most annoying thing about it for me was, you would get a tape, and maybe your friend might have thought ahead and put who he recorded onto this cassette onto the label, and even a more courteous friend might have put a track listing, and an even more courteous friend might have even put one band per side of the tape. But most times you just got as much music as could be crammed into a fucking 90-minute cassette, right? So you might get 3 or 4 or 5 bands and not know who the fuck you got, But the excitement level of not knowing what you were going to get or what you were listening to was off the charts. You didn't know what you had. I shudder to think at the shit that I probably got that I just no longer have. But you didn't know what you got, and because there wasn't a shitload of music that I could just get it, a few taps of the keys, you stuck with it for a while. Bands that it didn't quite hit straight away eventually started to grow on you. Sharing that with someone else in a weird way endeared you to what was on that. And if you were lucky enough to know who you were listening to, that was also exciting because you'd never heard it before. And if you knew the band or you had other things from the band, it was, really cool to get something new. It almost felt like illegal because you had this kind of free access to this music. And not that we thought it was illegal, but that anticipation and the excitement and the fucking wow new stuff. New records were few and far between when you're a kid. That's the point I'm trying to make. But now I've got this open-ended search bar that'll allow me to get anything I want at just a search of half a name. I can listen to full discographies, I can listen to old demos, I can do what I want. So I kind of, when it's time to hit that buy button, I feel it's got to be really fucking good, And I guess as an adult, that is helpful because it's no fun being broke when you're a fucking grown ass man. But in the same way, it's completely stripped music of its excitement, and it's also kind of stripped it of its worth. Well, it's definitely stripped it of its worth. Spotify hasn't helped that, but now I guess YouTube is kind of the new tape trading. I like to think that I listen to a lot of album reviews and vinyl collections and things like that, and I try to go with what looks good, what looks interesting. And that's normally how I'll plan my day, but still the purchasing isn't there. And that's what sucks. When you start putting your money where your mouth is, that's when shit gets exciting. I guess it would be like gambling. You got, you know, whatever records cost. In Australia, it was like $20 for a cassette and $30 for a CD. And, you know, records were expensive. So I guess they still are, you know. But you put your money down, hard-earned money, and you got it. And there wasn't a ton of it left. You know, money, I mean. So you weren't just being able to throw that on the fucking in the back and get another one and get another one. Kind of like what you are today when shit is like crazy cheap. I mean, I know when I put something out, like it's got to be, I'm trying to keep it under $10 because, you know, that's not a crazy investment if you fucking hate it, right? But the point being is that most people who are going to pick up a CD or a cassette tape, they already know what's on it before they get it. And when it comes in the mail, there's that quick fucking endorphin hit of seeing it and holding it, folding it, and peeling back the fucking covers and reading some of the notes. But that's quickly fucking gone because there's another one in there, and you know, you can get online and you can do it again. And it's not necessarily bad. I mean, it's helped a lot of artists like, you know, myself get a name to a lot of people kind of quickly. I don't have to rely on the mail to get it there and a ton of money in postage. And the double-edged sword is exactly that. I'm disposable, but I can find more people way quicker than what I could have done back in the 80s and the 90s. And it's sad that some of that's gone. And the record buying experience of what people who haven't lived before the internet is, it must be way different to how I experience it. I mean, just for me to walk into a record store now is super exciting. Like the rule is when I go to a record store, and many people who have come with me to record stores understand, I'll pick up shit I've got no idea what the fuck it is. I'll blind buy. At least one has to be a blind buy. You know, otherwise I don't feel like I've been shopping. So that fucking excitement of seeing something you don't know, or seeing something you do know that you haven't heard, and handing over your money, it's gone. How do we replace that? I try to do a lot of stuff with just cassette, and yeah, I do CDs, and I do CDs mostly because, you know, there's people out there that just don't have cassette players, so I kind of cater for that. But the cassette tape seems to be way more personal, I think, than a CD. CD is it's cheap to do. You know, anyone can get it done. You can get it run off in any kind of quantity you want. And a cassette, same type of thing if you're going to do it yourself, but there's way more effort in, you know, how are you going to get that J card? What type of art are you going to put onto it? How are you going to even complete that J card? Are you going to do it the old-fashioned way? Cut shit out, stick it on an older J card and fucking Xerox the fuck out of it. I mean, that type of shit's exciting, so I get to partake in that. And even if 2 people pick it up, I can pick that thing up myself, and I can look at the artwork and the music on it. I know that I put everything into the artwork. I did the best I can to create what I think the vision of the music is, but I don't know what that feels like for the person who picks that up. You know, are they picking it up to support? Are they ever going to listen to it? A lot of people don't, you know, and I understand that. Like, most people only have the time, especially in my age group, most people really only have the time when they're traveling to and from their workplace, or they're doing something like, you know, going to the gym, or fucking they're moving somewhere. They've got that free time, they've got to sit down, or they've got a task to complete, but they're not just sitting and relaxing and enjoying or consuming that music like we used to do. And if the internet went down tomorrow, I'd love to know how uncomfortable you on the other side of the screen and even me at this point, would be being just content with the music that you've got. I don't know. I think some of the fun's been stripped out of it. The fun for me is creating it and putting it out there for people to enjoy. But the people on the other side, it's on YouTube. You don't have to spend $1 to enjoy it now. I don't know. That's been flooding my brain today, and I must have fucking run over 1,000 different things on that I shouldn't be listening to new music on the internet because, you know, I'm just I can't seem to get that same excitement back. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. See ya.